other than that performance in 2000, this is the greatest thing we've ever seen from Tiger Woods because of all the baggage that he brought with him. That was what was so impressive. You cannot think that there wasn't pieces of all the shattered, I guess, memories of stuff that has happened to Tiger Woods since 2009 and 2008. 2009, I'm saying, when he lost to Y.E. Yang at the PGA Championship and had never had anybody staring down and beat him like that before, ever. So all the baggage that came along with all the personal stuff, the losing the major that way, even though he won 5 times in 2013, what does Tiger talk about? It's the majors that matter. So to have him come back from 18 months of saying, I don't know that I'm ever going to play golf again. Like, there was that time where Tiger said that. He said out loud, I don't know if I'm ever going to play golf again. And believe me when I tell you, bro, everybody in the golf world freaked out because we all knew, like, Tiger don't just move the needle. Tiger's the needle, the stand, and the shipping crate the damn thing came in. So the thought of him not being around was crazy. And to go from that to now winning the Masters and that hug that he had with both Charlie and then his son and his daughter Sam after that, I don't know nobody that didn't have tears rolling down their eyes. When you ask what this performance meant, here's what it meant. Sunday night when I was cleaning out my stuff in that media center and I'm leaving and I see a whole bunch of brothers that was working there the whole week. You know, all the brothers that are there taking care of, like, the attendance and everything in the media center. You know what them dudes said when I was walking out? They was like, yo, we did it again. They said we. You know how hard that is for me to say that without getting crazy emotional?
Right.
Knowing that that's what that win meant, not just to him, but to everybody watching and at that place.
Right.
The Stephen A. Smith Show on ESPN Radio is presented by Progressive Insurance. Guests on the Stephen A. Smith Show appear via the Shell Pennzoil Performance Line, and you can always get in touch with the show through the 1-800-Flowers Twitter feed.
So I would advise somebody to change that. There's a certain flavor that people expect to hear when they're listening to their boy Stephen A. Smith. My producers will handle that. If you missed my opening segment, go check it out on demand in the Stephen A. Smith podcast brought to you by the Capital One Saver Card. Earn 4% cash back on dining and entertainment, 2% at grocery stores, and 1% on all other purchases. Hey, what's in your wallet? Also, ESPN Radio is presented by Progressive Insurance, making it easy to bundle your home and car insurance. Make sure you know about that. Let's get to the phones at 888-SAY-ESPN. It's 888-729-3776. That's the number to call. Let's go to Al. You're live with Stephen A. Talk to me.
Hey, Stephen, I never spoke to you before. I know you're a big baller. I've played my whole life. Anyway, though, if Durant comes to New York, he's going to be a bust. Terrible.
Well, first of all, let me interrupt you for a second. First of all, please don't call me a big baller. I do understand it's a compliment, but as you know, big baller these days are associated with a different kind of brand that I would like not to be associated with. But go ahead.
Yeah, I know it's a different thing. I'm just talking about playing. I'm nervous. Because you're the man.
Go ahead.
That's why I'm nervous.
Go ahead,
you know what you're talking about.
We all family, bro. We all family. Go ahead. Relax. Go ahead.
It's just I've been watching him. What he is a tremendous 6'11" shooter. And other than that, he's terrible. And his personality is terrible. They'll eat him alive in New York. If one little thing goes wrong, he's not the guy for New York.
Well, listen, I understand that argument, but let's not call him terrible. The man's a career 27-point-per-game scorer. He's one of the prolific scorers we've ever seen in NBA history. His skill set is unparalleled pretty much for a guy his size. The only thing that he's lacking is weight. if he had the weight of a LeBron James wouldn't even be in the same conversation as him as far as I'm concerned. It's just that LeBron James is 260 pounds and Kevin Durant is not nearly that strong. So obviously that's an inhibitor. But the bottom line is, and that's not to disrespect LeBron James by any stretch, and I swear I'm not going to talk about him because he's on vacation. He's not in the playoffs. But I'm telling you that Kevin Durant is big time. He's elite in every way imaginable. You cannot summarily dismiss the greatness of Kevin Durant. Everybody doesn't have those skills. The big knock against him at this particular moment in time is that he appears to be a bit sensitive in terms of dealing with the media and some of the off-court things that come along with being a marquee star in the NBA. And if that is problematic for you, New York ain't the place to be.
Steve, he had a chance in Oklahoma to do it all. He had them down 3-1, and he bailed out and went and joined them. It's terrible.
Well, I thought it was true. Nobody was decried that more so than me. Nobody spoke more adamantly against that than me. So let's be clear about that. But the flip side to it is that, listen, at some point in time, we can't just talk about him. Just because Russell Westbrook is still there doesn't mean Russell Westbrook gets a pass for Oklahoma City not winning. Russell Westbrook's been there for quite a long time. And Russell Westbrook was on the same team with James Harden. Russell Westbrook was on the same team with Serge Ibaka. Russell Westbrook was on the same team as Reggie Jackson and Kevin Durant and had all of them at the same time at one time. And still, they never won a championship. So let's not just look at Kevin Durant. Russell Westbrook, last time I checked, is a phenomenal talented player. Widely recognized as one of the great players in the NBA, a perennial all-star, a former league MVP as well. Russell Westbrook shouldn't get a pass either.
He has a lot more heart than Durant, though. A lot more heart. That guy plays 120%.
That's true. You know what? A lot more heart and a lot less efficiency. Kevin Durant's shooting percentage? Are you kidding me? Decision making? Are you kidding me? Not even in the same stratosphere. Appreciate the call. Thank you. Chris, you're live with Stephen A. Floor's yours.
Hey, Stephen A. Good talking to you again. Real quick on what I saw last night. I'm pretty sure you watched the game from start to finish. Let's talk about the bad. I think that but nobody talks about what happened with Kevin Durant last night as far as offensive fouls. He had 4 offensive fouls last night. That's not a good sign. They continue to turn the ball over. It's not going to hurt him against the Clippers because the Clippers won't have enough scoring to overtake them, and I don't see anybody in the West beating them. This will hurt him against whoever comes out the East. And let's talk about the good. So that's the bad. At the end of the day, I don't see them squandering another 31-point lead to the Clippers. But let's talk about the good on the Clippers side, Stephen A.
Okay.
This is what I'm fearful as a Lakers fan. I'm a Laker fan, but I believe the Clippers will get somebody. Doc will be able to get. Doc's my coach of the year. I know in some people's eyes, he's the only coach in the playoff format right now without an all-star. The other 15 teams have an all-star. Nobody talks about that, but that's fine. He'd rather have guys who can coach up rather than one guy to lean on. Kind of reminds me of Boston. When he was
you talking about Doc Rivers, right?
Doc Rivers, yes.
All right, yeah, but here's the one thing that I don't think could be escaped, Chris, and I'm not applying this to Doc Rivers because Doc Rivers is just an exceptional coach, once again proving why he is. And if anything, that makes you look at a CP3, a Blake Griffin, and it makes you say to those guys, what's up? Because when y'all were together with DeAndre Jordan, y'all never got past the second round. And look at what Doc Rivers is doing, devoid of that kind of star caliber talent. So to me, you look at the players that he had as opposed to him right now with the way that he's shown this ability to coach the game of basketball. Having said all of that, we do also have to ask ourselves this question. Most coaches probably like being in Doc Rivers' situation because when you're devoid of stars, particularly in a star-studded league, you're playing with house money because the expectations are minimal. And you could go out there and just ball and just coach your butt off and have your guys just ball, and you can distribute and share the basketball with a little bit of equality per se, for lack of a better word, because you're not worried about having to feed the star all the time.
Exactly. And I'll take it a step further, not just that. To add to that, you take a bunch of guys who buy into what he is preaching.
Right. Yeah.
That takes a step.
By the way, Chris, let me distract you for a second because I want to address a couple of things. First of all, I got 2 of my boys. One covers the NBA, my man Vince. He's a special dude. I love him like a brother. And, of course, my brother Mike Hill that works for Fox. These brothers texting me talking about, yo, that's Jay-Z Beyonce song. I know. I just don't like the song. I love Jay-Z, and God knows I love Beyonce. They're epic in every way. I just don't like that particular beat. I knew who it was. I don't like the beat. I mean, I got to like every song. I mean, I'm quite sure Jay-Z don't like some of my commentary. He ain't shy about saying it. He's the Godfather. I mean, Jay-Z is all world. And Beyonce is the queen. Nothing but love. Just that particular beat doesn't move me. Doesn't move me. That's all. That's all. Well, Mike, Vince, appreciate y'all. Love y'all, bro. Appreciate y'all and love y'all looking out for your brother like that. But I knew. I have the album. I just don't like the beat. Go ahead, Chris. I digress. I'm sorry.
Yes, sir. But anyways, I mean, I just didn't like what I saw from Golden State. But like I said, they'll be fine long term. As teams come out the East, I'm worried about. But quick question for you, Stephen A.
Yep.
Has nothing to do with what took place last night. I plan on covering the Clippers for Game 3 and Game 4. Do you see yourself being at Staples Center for either one of those 2 games?
I will be there. I will be there this weekend for Game 4. I'll catch you there.
Yes, sir. Easter Sunday.
No problem.
God bless.
Take it easy. Let's go to Ray. You're live. Stephen A. Talk to me.
Stephen A., how you doing, man? Thanks for taking my call, man.
I'm good. What's up?
Hey, man, I called you, but that was about less than a month ago, man. And my boys, I'm going to tell you, man, my homies, they had a kicker. You hanging up on me saying I was talking nonsense. But I called because I was asking about why does Damian Lillard don't get the respect he deserves.
Stop right there. That is not why I hung up on you. Don't lie. Because I would never hang up on somebody that says Damian Lillard doesn't get the respect that he deserves. Damian Lillard's big time. Damian Lillard could ball. Damian Lillard, as far as I'm concerned, is worthy of strong consideration to be first team All-NBA this year because he's done more with less. I did not hang up on you because of Damian Lillard. I don't remember why, but I'm willing to bet my check. It damn sure wasn't because of Damian Lillard. It had to be something else you said that I found to be idiotic. Nothing but respect for you, though.
No, it was because I brought up the Harden angle.
Oh, that's what it was. So why you brought? So hold on, wait a minute. Just for the purposes of our relationship over the air, why you gonna call up here and try to insinuate that I hung up on you because of Damian Lillard when in fact you knew damn well it was was of something else? That's kind of slick on you. That's kind of slick. Apologize so your boys can hear you apologize, Ray. Ray in Nashville. Apologize right now.
My bad, Stephen. You got to let me finish, though.
But you got to apologize because you tried to be slick.
I apologize. My bad.
All right.
I apologize.
Go ahead.
Then my angles I was really trying to bring up was the Kyrie Irving and Westbrook angles and the fact that Damian Lillard always gets stuck with this narrative, he hasn't done it in the playoffs. He hasn't done it in the playoffs. And my thing is, without playing with the top 2 best players maybe probably in the world, Damian Lillard has won more playoff series than both Irving and Westbrook.
Well, that's not necessarily fair because if you're Russell Westbrook, you only spent the last 2 seasons without Kevin Durant, and in the case of a James Harden. You just got CP3 last year and you went to the conference finals, but there were times before that James Harden made it to the conference finals without CP3. Matter of fact, one year they beat CP3. So I'm not sure. And Damian Lillard has never been to a conference finals and he's only gotten out of the first round twice. So I don't know if that's a fair comparison. I appreciate you wanting to give the love to Damian Lillard. I just don't think that's the way to do it.
But between Lillard and Westbrook, don't give it up and give it to Lillard, Stephen A.
Right now,
You made the fact of he should be all NBA ahead of Steph.
Right. But here's the thing. I trust Damian Lillard's decision making and shot making ability better than Russell Westbrook. What I don't dismiss from Russell Westbrook is his ability to rebound and assist, and the fact that he's constantly in attack mode and how that galvanizes the troops around him. And I think that when you talk about the course of 82 regular season games, a night in, night out basis, where there's so many relatively meaningless games, even though Damian Lillard barely misses any games, I don't think you can take away what Russell Westbrook brings energy-wise to the table in regards to that. And what he does defensively as well. Because I think he is more impactful defensively than a Damian Lillard. But Damian Lillard is definitely a better shot maker and a better decision maker. And I think when crunch time arrives, I would go the route of Damian Lillard. But over the course of 82 games in the season, I would go with Russell Westbrook. That's my thinking. I got to run though, Ray. I appreciate the call. 888-SAY-ESPN. That's 888-729-3776. Back with your calls and more. to close out hour number 1 right here with Stephen A. ESPN Radio, ESPN News.
Your radio, your computer, your phone.